Hi, I'm Meara Murphy. I'm a vice president in the Boston office. I've been with MSNL for a little over 9 years, and I work on a variety of clients within the consumer and cause practice, from Sodexo, which is a food service and facilities management company, to Pearson, which is a publishing company, to Keurig, the single coffee brewing system, and a number of other clients. And I work with each of those clients in different ways to help them leverage digital and social media tools in their PR strategies.
Hi, I'm Dave Guarino. I'm a vice president in the Boston office, director of public affairs. I've been with MSNL since April, and before that worked in state government in Massachusetts and as a newspaper reporter. The clients I work on are on the corporate side, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts, Genzyme, the biotech company, and a prominent lawsuit here in Massachusetts involving citizens who are taking on the Turnpike Authority, the major highway system, over tolls, and that is one of the areas where we're utilizing social media quite a bit in this space.
So what does it mean for you to be a digital activist, Meara?
What it means to me is to be able to look to digital every time that I'm helping a client pull together a PR campaign or a strategy around a specific announcement, and look to how it fits into the overall approach, how to best leverage it. So it might be for Sodexo, as we're getting ready to launch their new CSR platform, and how we might leverage those tools to help tell that story, targeting bloggers within the CSR space, as well as using their Twitter and other tools that they leverage in-house. Also, really working with clients like Keurig, who really don't have a digital footprint at this point. Their consumers are talking about them in social media channels, but they're not using them yet on their own, and looking to how we can help them start to use those tools to help get more control of the conversation. We have been able to use it actually just recently with some events they did in Chicago and Seattle, where they didn't have their own Twitter or Facebook, but we were able to leverage through MSNL Network, as well as working with local food banks through a donation that Keurig gave, to be able to drive awareness of these sampling events that they were doing in these markets through other consumers and nonprofits' social channels. So we're always looking at ways, okay, if our client's not in this space currently, how can we still make it work? Because I think that it really is more and more being pushed towards social tools as the traditional media space shrinks. So I think it's more and more going to play for our clients.
Mm-hmm. How does it play out in the public affairs space, Dave?
Well, I got involved listening, I think, as a lot of people do with social media. I'm a news junkie coming from the news business and being on this side of the news business. And so getting on the newspaper Twitter feeds and Facebook pages, it allowed me to get news a lot quicker than a lot of our competitors and people in the space. And then I started commenting on it and getting involved myself that way, commenting on public affairs, commenting on political issues in Massachusetts and Washington. And that helped me build a voice for myself and get people following me and pulling them into the things that we were doing here at MSNL for a variety of our clients.
How do you think it'll play out in 2010? How will digital communications impact public affairs?
Well, it's just going to grow. More and more politicians and elected officials are using social media. Not particularly well yet. They are on there. They're monitoring the conversation. There's some back and forth, but they're starting to realize that that's where people are going. They're not reading the newspaper as much anymore. They're not watching television as much anymore. 300 million Facebook users, 25 or so million people logged on to Twitter last month alone. This is where the conversation is happening. And in public affairs, it's all about helping capture and move that conversation in the public square. And social media today is the modern public square. It's Hyde Park on steroids, but it's there, and they have to be a part of it, or else they're missing out on what their constituents and the people are talking about and thinking.
How about for consumers, Meara?
Well, I think that, as we know, word of mouth helps drive consumer awareness of products and services and what the latest trends are. And I think that's just going to continue to increase I think it'll be interesting to see what new tools pop up on the scene as we, Facebook grew exponentially this year. The use of Twitter, I use it to help promote my clients and what they're doing, but I also use it for kind of my own brand of social senses and talking about what's happening in the Boston community with restaurants and shopping and in the art scene. So I think that consumers are going to become more engaged and really looking to these channels to talk about with their friends of what products they love and what they should try, and getting involved also on the cause side of things, as we've seen clients like Dawn and others talk about their efforts through Facebook and fan pages, and really increasing awareness of their efforts around doing good in the community. So I think
it's where our sort of old public relations meets new media, because all of our clients are looking at it, and whether they're involved or scared of it entirely, they know that they need to have a strategy. And that's our advice anytime we get involved in a discussion about social media, is it has to be one tool in your arsenal. You can't just be on Twitter. You need to have a strategy for public relations and communications, and this is just one spoke in that wheel.
Last question is, what's the one website or tool that you can't live without?
I would say Twitter for me, and I think that especially over the last few months, I've been using it for a while now, but especially since getting a TweetDeck is probably what I'm addicted to. I love being able to organize, personal interests, clients, especially if I'm working on a specific campaign for a client, and being able to track that chatter. So I would say Twitter and TweetDeck are my two favorite tools.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It's a great way for me to monitor the conversation in public affairs. I follow people, and people follow me. We're on all ends of the ideological spectrum, so when a big story hits, I can see how it's playing with liberals and conservatives and moderates in different media venues and everything, and then being a part of that just really helps drive the issues that we're talking about and we're working on.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.